By 10:45 it was all over. The town was occupied, the defenders defeated, and the war finished. The invader had prepared for this campaign as carefully as he had for the larger ones. On this Sunday morning, the postman and the policeman had gone fishing in the boat of Mr. Correll, the popular storekeeper. He had lent them his trim sailboat for the day. The postman and the policeman were several miles at sea when they saw the small dark transport loaded with soldiers go quietly past them. As officials of the town, this was definitely their business, and these two put about, but of course the battalion was in possession by the time they could make port. The policeman and the postman could not even get into their own offices in the town hall, and when they insisted on their rights, they were taken prisoners of war and locked up in the town jail. The local troops, all 12 of them, had been away too on this Sunday morning, for Mr. Correll, the popular storekeeper, had donated lunch targets, cartridges, and prizes for a shooting competition to take place 6 miles back in the hills in a lovely glade Mr. Correll owned. The local troops, big loose hung boys, heard the planes and in the distance saw the parachutes, and they came back to town at double quick step. When they arrived, the invader had flanked the road with machine guns. The loose hung soldiers, having very little experience in war and none at all in defeat, opened fire with their rifles. The machine guns clattered for a moment, and 6 of the soldiers became dead-riddled bundles, and 3 half-dead-riddled bundles, and 3 of the soldiers escaped into the hills with their rifles. By 10:30, the brass band of the invader was playing beautiful and sentimental music in the town square, while the townsmen, their mouths a little open and their eyes astonished, stood about listening to the music and staring at the gray-helmeted men who carried submachine guns in their arms. By 10:38, the riddled 6 were buried, the parachutes were folded, and the battalion was billeted in Mr. Correll's warehouse by the pier, which had on its shelves blankets and cots for a battalion. By 10:35, old Mayor Orden had received the formal request that he grant an audience to Colonel Lancer of the invaders, an audience which was set for 11 sharp at the mayor's 5-room palace. The drawing room of the palace was very sweet and comfortable. The gilded chairs, covered with their warm tapestry, were set about stiffly like too many servants with nothing to do.